It feels like Treyarch has given up on Black Ops 4. I don't honestly have much hope that this game is ever going to be revitalized or made a complete game, at least in time for me to actually want to play it again. I mean, honestly, in the last week, I've played pubs in this game one time, and it's literally was like 4 hours ago, and it was the gameplay you're watching now, so I'm not very fresh on this game, but the game is just boring, and Treyarch has done pretty much nothing, to actually fix that problem. I think that they've just given up on the game, and honestly, at this point, all the evidence is pointing towards that. Let's be really honest about this whole game. People love to defend Treyarch because they're the fan-favorite COD developer, but let me be really honest with you here. I think that they've fallen out of that position. Honestly, I think Infinity Ward has taken their spot back, but this game is just, it's dead, okay? Let's be really honest, this game's just dead. So this was supposed to be a Call of Duty where they were just going to unleash all this new content real constantly. They were going to constantly update the game and make sure that it was great. We were supposed to always have new stuff to do, all these operations. We were going to have all this cool stuff to obtain and all these different things, all these new locations and maps and weapons and game modes, and oh my god, it was going to be the Call of Duty experience of a lifetime, folks. But we're 4 months into launch in 2 days. We have gotten 2 DLC maps. They're horrible, by the way. We've gotten 3 brand new DLC weapons. 2 of them are literally reskins from Black Ops 2 weapons. We still have not gotten League play. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if we'll ever get League play. They keep saying, mid-February, but they've only pushed it back 2 or 3 times now. We've gotten 1 new location in Blackout, which was hijacked, and that's in 4 months, and apparently we're supposedly getting buried and maybe standoff in the upcoming update and whatnot, but that would mean a whole 3 locations in 4 months, and 2 of them would have came pretty much at the same time, so that's not impressive to me at all. We've gotten 2 major operations, okay, to earn things in the black market. Speaking of the black market, we've basically gotten like the same 13 items just rotated through the shop for months now. We've gotten like 2 new zombies maps, new quote-unquote zombies maps. This game has actually had less content added to it than Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and World War II did by this time in their life cycles. Isn't that crazy? World War II, that game, everyone just, that game was garbage at release. It was. It had more to do by this time. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and let you guys in on something here. Sledgehammer will be releasing new weapons for Call of Duty World War II very soon, like in the next month. This has already been confirmed. They are going to be releasing DLC for World War II after, Black Ops 4 launched, halfway into Black Ops 4's life cycle, which is pretty impressive, I'd say. So, Treyarch, let me, riddle me this. How is Sledgehammer going to be releasing more content for their game in the cycle where you're supposed to be the main Call of Duty? It's mind-boggling to me, man. I just don't understand. There's so many excuses that people love to give Treyarch that it's ignorant. You gotta give them more time, man, just be patient. So they didn't have 3 years to develop this entire fucking game. They haven't had 4 months since the game launched to add in the features everybody's been wanting. I didn't even mention like combat records, proper leaderboards, things like that. So they didn't have all that time to actually do things right. They didn't have, almost 3.5 years at this point of time to get things done? Huh, that's crazy. Maybe we should give them more time. In a $60 AAA video game, maybe they should have 4 years, okay, to get things done. And then on top of that, in these 3.5 years, like 80% of the game's content is all recycled, okay? The specialists all came from BO3 pretty much. The weapons are all based on guns that we've seen in Call of Duty for the last 10 years. Half the maps at this point are pretty much just remakes. The best maps, at least, in this game are all remakes. So they spent 3.5 years doing what? What have they done in 3.5 years? Okay, they're not making anything new. And then I love to hear, they're working on it, man. They've been working on it. These are the excuses that you can give like an indie development studio, people who are making a game basically in their basement or in their bedroom, things like that, where it's like 2 people working on a game. But Treyarch is a AAA development studio with, I would say, hundreds of employees that has all the funding in the world from Activision, which is one of the biggest companies in video games altogether, with 3 years of time, and they're working on it. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me too, man. One thing this game did have fairly early in its life cycle, it had microtransactions. Before the game came out, it had a $50 DLC pass that 4 months in we've only seen 2 maps from, so yeah, that great DLC pass that we had to have, right? I could give Treyarch a lot more breathing room, like I said, if there was like 4 people working on this game in a garage. but there's not. This was a $60 AAA game. $60 if you didn't want any of the DLC, if you didn't want multiplayer maps after launch and things like that. Then the game was basically $120 if you add in the tax and stuff like that. But yeah, we're supposed to give them more time. We're supposed to be patient. They're doing their best. It isn't the consumer's fault that they decided they wanted to make an Overwatch clone for 2.5 years of the development cycle until the playtesters told them it was complete dog shit. And now that people are finally holding Treyarch accountable for the mistakes with this game, for how boring the game is, for the lack of content in this game, for how badly this game's getting completely fucking demolished by free-to-play games like Fortnite and Apex Legends, Treyarch's pretty silent all of a sudden, man, and David Vonderhaar, of course, is only responding to the people where he can make an example out of them. If not, he's depressed. He's basically become a sad boy on Twitter, which has been pretty funny for me to see at least, because these are all issues that had he just listened to the community 3 months ago, at this point, we could have had all these things sorted out, and he'd still be the man. Everyone would still be just all over Vonderhaar, man, because he would have still been that guy from Black Ops 2 to us, right? I simply don't think he's that man anymore. I'm just going to be really honest with you. And you can say whatever you want about Call of Duty World War II. Yeah, the launch was abysmal, but by this time in that game's life cycle, after they fired Michael Condrey, and when that studio, saw the blood in their eyes from basically being down for the count, when that adrenaline hit that studio, we saw new perks, we saw new weapons, new maps, new game modes, hot fixes for the problems. Honestly, what didn't they do to World War II after that game came out? After the game was halfway through its life cycle and the game was already pretty much dead, if you stuck with that game like I did, World War II actually ended up being an actually good Call of Duty game. By the end of the cycle and everything, it was actually a good game. I'm almost inclined to re-download it and try it again and play it, especially when these weapons are coming out, because it's sad to say, but a Call of Duty that is a year and a half old has more content actually planned and available in the next month than the most current Call of Duty game. But you're telling me Treyarch has not given up on Black Ops 4, okay? The game's getting its ass kicked by all these other games, and you're telling me they haven't given up on it? Because, if they're still in it to win it, I surely haven't seen any real effort be put forward by these guys. I haven't seen anything that the community's been asking for, really, unless it comes to Blackout, which is their baby, okay, because that's what's making them the money, and that's what they think is going to compete with Fortnite. If Treyarch has not given up on this game yet, I would like to see Blackout become free to play. I would like to see multiplayer actually get some fucking content. I'd like to see the game actually get worked on, not these monthly content updates that we get where they drop just a couple little smidgens of content and then that's supposed to hold everyone over. Look at Blackout's map, like I said, has been changed literally pretty much one time with that new location since October, okay? Fortnite has had the whole map encased by snow, has had like 15 new locations. The game gets updated all the time. Apex Legends came out. It's gonna have ranked play here in a couple fucking days. This game's getting destroyed, dude. This game is getting destroyed. I don't play pubs in BO4 anymore because, what's the point, dude? It's so boring. There's no new content to play. They're not fixing the problems with it. There's no way they haven't given up at this point. Black Ops 4 has just become a joke, man. It's sad to say. It's hard to admit, but it's the truth. And everyone's like, well, just wait a couple months. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be awesome. I'm just letting you know. It's over for you in April, Treyarch. You have literally a month left of everyone's attention. Even when all those credible Modern Warfare 4 leaks just start rolling in, start becoming big, those teasers start coming out, it's fucking over, man. It's over with. The franchise is moving on. The moment that I see a trailer come up in April where I see that green lettering, Modern Warfare 4, and at the end I see that throwing knife go through the eye from Modern Warfare 2's campaign, and we see that Modern Warfare 2 remastered, it's over, dude. Black Ops 4's player counts are gonna plummet like the Titanic, because that's how Call of Duty works. It happened with World War II, and that's why most people don't know how good World War II came to be after the game, had some time, and after Michael Condrey got fired. But, you guys can make this game all you want it to be, but people aren't going to be playing it. And at this point, I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. When it came down to Call of Duty World War II, I didn't really have much else to play anyway, so I did stick with it. But with this game, there is Apex Legends, okay? I don't know about Anthem yet. Maybe that'll end up being pretty decent. There are other games, you know what I'm saying? I've been playing just an absurd amount of Apex Legends. I haven't been playing any Black Ops 4, and when I do, I'm playing game battles with my friends. I don't see that changing, okay? I really don't. Blackout isn't interesting to me at all. It's not better than Apex Legends. It's arguably not better than Fortnite. Zombies just got completely forgotten about right out of the gate of this game's launch, and multiplayer doesn't get any new content or anything. So like, what's the point me sticking around when there's free-to-play games that are more complete? You know what I'm saying? There's free-to-play games that are more complete than Black Ops 4, yet people are legitimately trying to say that Treyarch hasn't given up on Black Ops 4. And if they haven't, then they're just doing a piss poor job of keeping themselves in the fight. Treyarch has lost the boxing match. They are sitting there looking at the ref's hand, and the count is pretty much ticked at 8. They got 2 seconds to get up, and once that clock hits 10, and you hear the ding 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 knockout, you know, Modern Warfare 4 is going to be right there. Treyarch, you don't have much time to appease the community. You don't have much time to fix this. If I'm wrong and you haven't given up on this game, you don't have long, and you need to get back into it. Because I know you guys seem to think this is going to be a 3-year game, but trust me, especially if these whole Modern Warfare 4 and MW2R leaks and stuff are true, it's simply not going to happen. In reality, if this game doesn't have combat records, leaderboards, fully functioning league play, more updates to multiplayer and Blackout, more maps in multiplayer and in zombies, in like, I don't know, 3.5 weeks, you can pretty much just call it a day. You can pretty much just chalk this one up as yet another game in the Call of Duty franchise that failed to live up to the hype, and that was pretty much just dead in the water by time that it even really got kicking. And I hate to say that because I'm a Call of Duty fan. I love COD, and I'm really excited for the next COD. I'm hoping that we don't get this situation from Infinity Ward. I'm really hoping that we don't. I wouldn't be too shocked if we did, but I don't understand how in 2-year development cycles back in the day we could get the best CODs of all time, but now that you have 3 years to work on each game, you somehow can't complete them. They can't be finished. Treyarch just seems demoralized to me, and at this point they deserve everything. All the shit they're getting on Twitter and stuff, they entirely deserve, because it's been months with piss poor communication, with a lackluster game. They deserve every single bit of it, man. We paid $60 for this game, and if that's the truth, they're demoralized and they're giving up on this game and they're just taking the L, you know, that wouldn't shock me in the slightest. That's what I think's happening in the first place, and that's pretty much it for this game, if that's the case, folks. Hope you're not too invested in it. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here. Follow me over on Twitter at SubTopTheMiss. I post memes, thoughts, and updates. It's a surefire way to get live notifications of all my newest videos. And until my next video here on Optimus Games, guys, this is Optimus, giving up on Black Ops 4 as well, and signing out.